All right, everybody, we're going to be talking about Task by Planner, and the focus is going to be on me, which is how everything should be focused on. Really, it's like, am I stupid for not really using Task by Planner? We've covered some videos about Task by Planner, but the challenge is I haven't integrated it into my daily schedule. So what Kaylee's going to do in this video is kind of help me understand how I could use it in my daily routine. And at the end of this, I'll talk about whether or not she convinced me. So Kaylee, let's see what you got.
If you don't know this product at all or don't have it installed onto your Microsoft Teams already, I have a video showing you guys how to do this, so I'll link it above. So the reason that I use Task by Planner and why I would recommend you to use it on a day-to-day basis is because it connects everything together and it keeps your to-dos streamlined throughout all of your products. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you can use it on your desktop. You can use it while you're using your email, and you can use it on the go on your phone. So with all of this together, it really keeps you efficient and connected with all of your tasks throughout the day.
So Kaylee, so in this situation, like if I had something that I'm just scheduling, like an appointment, this probably wouldn't be the case. But if it's something that might require multiple things to accomplish the task that I'm trying to do, is that a better choice for this product?
Yes, and I can show you a way that you can do that inside Task by Planner that's going to make it very easy for you to be efficient and effective. And I use it personally in my work day throughout the entire span of the day for that reason.
How much do you utilize it in the day, like Task by Planner?
I would say with every single day, I start off the day with opening Task by Planner. I start the day with mapping out everything that I need to do. Or sometimes what I'll do is I'll end every day creating the task that I need to do for the next day. So that when that next day comes and I wake up and I'm ready to work, I have all of those tasks listed out for the day. So then I just get started with, and what's really nice, you can move the tasks around and when you want to do them so that I can just start with the top tasks and just go down the line. So
it's like your personal assistant.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. It keeps me on track. It keeps me, I mean, I've got mom brain now, so I'll forget stuff a lot. So it really helps me remember everything that I need to get done that day. So with that being said, I would love to show you guys the different parts of Task by Planner that you really should be using to make it the most efficient that you can. Okay. So first, I want to show you guys just the main task screen. And this is what I have up here. As you can see, I have a few things in my tasks right now. And notice there are a few icons to the right of those tasks that make them look a little bit different. You've got this little exclamation point here. And you've also got this little planner icon here, right? So what those mean is I have prioritized this task. When I prioritize a task, it shoots it to the top of your task list. So what I do is I come in and I prioritize each of the tasks that I need to do first in the day so that it shoots those to the top of the list. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The way that you would do that is you can just create a task here and you type, let's say I need to shave the dogs, because man, they are shedding everywhere. Then here, it automatically makes it just like a medium priority. You can click on that priority and change it to important. And when you do, it's going to shoot it to the top of the list. Now, if I went here and I went to this meme about Avengers in CMMC, and I wanted to change the priority here, I would click on this tab. It would pop up this little dialog box, and you could change the priority here to important. And then once I exit out here, you'll notice that it pushed it to the top of the list. Okay, so that is a great way to make sure that the ones that you really want done or need to get done are right in front of your face literally shouting at you with an exclamation point. So then the other thing that you can see here is this little planner icon. So if I click here on the add a slide to our password management presentation, okay, I click on that and you see I have notes here. I have notes of what I need to do inside of that specific task. And so it's basically just letting you know outside of the task that you have more notes that you need to read and look at, which I think is really cool and helpful, especially just at quick glance to know.
So Kaylee, in this situation, everything seems like it's just one and done. Is there a way to kind of visualize or show or display the multiple processes or things that may be involved in that task to complete it?
Yes. So this would be called having a checklist inside your task. So let's say that shave the dogs, it wasn't just, shave the dogs and that's it, right? You have to get the soap. You have to clean them. You have to grab the razor, right? Maybe buy the razor at a store. So what you would do is you would add a checklist to that main shave the dogs task. Where you would do that is you would click here. I'll do that again. You will click on shave the dogs, open up that dialog box. Then underneath here, you see this titled checklist. What you would do is you would create an item underneath that checklist. So let's say I wanted to buy a razor. Then I click enter and it creates that. And notice how it changed it to 0 of 1, right? As I add, let's say give them a bath. Click enter. Notice now it has 0 of 2, right? And you can move these around by clicking on this little icon here. You can move. So let's say I wanted to give them a bath first, then buy the razor. So you can also delete them to the right here. Then once I'm done with one of those items on the checklist, I would just click this box, complete the checklist. And notice now how it has a bar and it says 1 out of 2 are now complete. So then when you click out of here, you're also going to see that icon here next to shave the dogs to the right. It says 1 of 2 checklist items complete. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How does this affect the due date? Does it have any impact given the fact that you have checklist items to the due date in the task?
As far as like assigning certain times to certain items versus having one due date for the entire task, I haven't seen a way to do that yet, but that would be a really cool update for Microsoft to create. So like, let's say I wanted to, have the bath done by a certain time, and I wanted that to be said specifically. And that doesn't have to do with the main due date of the task. Right. That would be a very helpful add-on by Microsoft. So then what I want to show you is they have these different bundles that you can view your tasks under. This is really cool because if you wanted to just see your important tasks, you can click on the important tab. And notice how it says here that all of these are important. So you're only seeing the ones that you really want to. Then you can also check on the planned tab. These are tasks that have due dates. Okay, so right now I don't have one that has a due date, but let's go back to my tasks and let's say that this meme needs to be done by the 25th. Then I'll close out of here, go to planned, and notice how it's right there now because it's due. Nice. It's due by a certain time. So again, if you're thinking logically about your day to day, you've got a tab for the ones that are like needing to be in your face, that need to get done. And then you have a tab for the ones that need to be done by a certain day. Of course, you're going to want to see those tasks more than just the regular, ones that you just threw on there. So what does that mean for the tasks here on this tab? They just want you to throw stuff on there so you don't forget it. And then you can come in here and you can change it and move it and categorize it and put it to where you'd like it to go. But just don't forget it.
What about the dates, the due dates that you have? Does that have any impact on your Outlook calendar?
Something that you need to know is none of these tasks, if they're due by a certain date, they are not connected to your Outlook calendar. You are not going to see these tasks inside your Outlook calendar. But there is a way to view this in a calendar view, which I will show you in a minute, but it is not going to be connected to your Outlook calendar. You know how inside a calendar, when you're creating an event, you can check on and check off if it's a Microsoft meeting, if it's a Teams meeting. I think they should have something like that inside here where you say if you want to make it an event or not. Yeah. So, I don't work for Microsoft, but maybe I should, because I come up with these things. No, just kidding. But if somebody from Microsoft is listening to this that so happens to know how to change this, that would be super cool to add. But yeah, great point. Great point. Then they have Assign to Me. This is where you get into the part of Task by Planner that utilizes teams. Like I'm talking about these teams over here, not just Teams as the app. So you can have plans or planners inside of Teams channels, and they can assign things or assign tasks or even assign checklist items to you. And they are going to show up here on the Assign to Me section. So what that looks like is this. I'm going to go into my Teams area, and I have this general Axiom channel that I've created this test shared plan under. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, wait, how did you get there? How did you create this plan? How did you set this up? And you're overwhelmed, it's okay, because I created a whole video already on how to do this. So I'm going to link that right now above. So pause this video for a second and look at that one if you don't know how to do this. But if you're already here and you know how to do this, I'm going to show you how to connect, a specific task to a specific person. So let's say this clean litter box task. I want to assign that now specifically to me. I would click on Assign. I would type my name, and it would add me under here. Okay. So notice though how this dialog box is much bigger, much more stuff than the one that we had earlier on our just tasks tab. That is because when you create a plan inside a Teams channel, it unlocks like a box of way more things that you can utilize. I can't give you the full answer of why they do it this way, because I feel like you should just have this same dialog box for everything. But Microsoft seems to believe that you only need this stuff if you're working with more than one person or a team of people inside here. So that's just something really important to know.
Well, maybe they're just looking at it from the perspective of if you're doing it as an individual, you want to be quick, you want to be fast. So less dialogue boxes, maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah. So another thing is they have this comments section. You can like message to your team about this specific task, which I think is pretty cool. They didn't have this before, but this is just a way to almost streamline efficiency when it comes to getting things done or talking about a specific task. Like, let's say I wanted to say 3 items should be done by now, and I click send here. So it's going to notify anybody who is a part of this task. It's going to notify them, and it also creates these comment sections under here for them to see. And then it also creates this little comment box here to let you know it has comments underneath this task. So let your team know, hey, people have been having a conversation about this. Maybe you should check it out and see what they're saying. So that's pretty cool.
So I guess my question for you, Kaylee, is see where it says test shared plan. Is that going to create a new tab every plan that you create, or is it going to just nest it underneath that?
Yes. So this is one plan that you can have a bunch of tasks, a bunch of lists, a bunch of buckets under. But if you create another plan, it is going to add a tab for that plan. So this isn't a tab just for Task by Planner. This is a tag for just a plan. Okay. So you create those plans and then assign them to teams.
So there should be some wisdom there about what you're creating there, because it doesn't have to be 1-to-1 ratio. I guess you could create separate tasks that you want to share for different things underneath that tab versus just like, creating just an endless sea of tabs across the top.
It might look different for every company, but these plans are great to utilize for maybe, let's say, projects, right? So let's say you have a couple different projects that you want done. You could have a plan for each different project and then start to put tasks underneath those different plans so that you're not just having one plan that has tons and tons of tasks and assignments under it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And also, I guess if you're done, could you close out of the plan tab? Like if you're like, okay, this is finished, this is retired, can you like hide it or close it? And does that do it for everybody?
You absolutely can. Okay. So when you right click on this test shared plan, there's an option to remove. When I click on that, it's going to ask me, do you want to permanently delete this plan and all of the tasks under it? Or do you want to just remove it, like just take it away from this tab and just get rid of the view of it on this specific Teams channel? So that's really cool because if you ever want to go back and look at the task, you still can. It doesn't fully delete the entire thing, but if you do want to just completely clear it out, you're never going to need it again, you always can do that. So the last thing that I did want to highlight is there are all of these different tabs. You create a plan under a channel, but I did want to show you here, they have a schedule for your plan. This is what I wanted to say in regards to when you previously talked about adding it to your Outlook calendar. You can't do that, but you do have the option to create a plan that has a schedule on it under a Teams channel. So you still could have that view if you wanted that view. So that's just something to note.
Kaylee, right here that you have open, I noticed that one of the tasks that you made it's not showing up here. Is that a malfunction, or is there something that we're not doing, or am I not seeing something here?
Good question. So this brings out something that I really, really want you guys to understand, which is the Task by Planner icon here, the task tab that we were looking at. That's personal to me.
Okay.
That's not going to show up here in this shared plan under this channel because this shared plan is only for these people inside this channel and it's a team setting. Whereas all of those Task by Planner icons here that I created, these are all personal to me. Nobody else is going to see them unless I want them to.
So that's where the assigned to me comes in, is the items that you've done from that tab appear here.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
And notice here where, remember when I assigned the clean litter box to me and it showed up under assigned to me, not only does it show it here, but a new thing that Microsoft added is the source of the task. So it shows what Teams channel it's coming from as well, which is pretty cool. This means that you can get really creative. So now what I want to show you guys is the other part of Task by Planner and to-dos, which is to-dos inside of Outlook. So here I am inside of my Outlook. So if I go to my app launcher and I click on all apps, if it's not there already, and I search to-dos, you can see it here. You can also add it to your panel on this left side here, which I've already done. So I can easily click on the to-dos here. So when I click on to-dos, it's going to take me to my day. My day. That's what they call it inside of Outlook. It's basically just the things that you want to get done that day that you just want to jot down. Notice how you can see some of these tabs over here look very similar to the ones that we saw previously, like planned and assigned to me. And notice how they're connected. So you can see the ones that you saw inside your Teams Task by Planner. Then you've also got the tasks here. So I have the shape the dog, I have the condensed fishing training video, all of those things that were in the one that we looked at in the Task by Planner, except they also have the flagged emails section.
Oh, okay.
And they have the importance.
So Kaylee, in Outlook, when you're in the normal view, that you could create a pane for your to-dos. So, but that was old school. does this now apply? Like, could you add it as an additional pane that you can kind of keep an eye on inside your Outlook? So you kind of, not only while you're checking your email, you can also see the tasks that are coming up that are possibly important for the day.
Great question. You can also view it in that way as well. It's basically just not the full version, right? So you're not going to see this full look. And so if you look down here, a quick way to jump back to your Outlook is you click on this Outlook icon down here. And when you click on that, it's going to send you back to Outlook, and you can up here and see that My Day section. When you click on that, it is going to pull up this little like panel on the right side. It's going to show you here. Well, it's going to show you calendars first. I'm not sure why it does that, but if you switch over to this To-Do tab, you're going to see your tasks here. Okay.
Well, Kaylee, thank you so much for showing this to me. I feel like you've now convinced me that I need to start adding this to my daily routine. I think a lot of you, that might be the same case. So go ahead and make sure you put in the comments below anything that perhaps maybe we missed, or perhaps you have some questions. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have some other suggestions you'd like us to cover on Task by Planner, let us know, because we'd really like to dial in on that. Thanks, and have a great day.